Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Naruto got married with Princess Twilight, sparkle and harem with all. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the MADHAT886 for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. Let's start this video. Applejack munched into a slice of apple pie to go with her eggs and sausages. You would think anyone would have maintained a distinction for all things apple after working on an apple orchard for most of their lives, but not Applejack. The family farm was the apple of her eye, so we'll say. Want some chicken to go with that? Asked her brick wall of an older brother Big Mac. Pass me a couple of drumsticks, Applejack said. Yup, Big Mac said as he gave her the plate of chicken. Hope you got a good night's sleep there, Big Mac. It's going to be a long day. The thought of seeing some of her best friends would normally have put a smile on that freckled southern face of Applejack's, but not today. She heard that after the long summer break that the school is going to be having a test to see how much information the students retained. Yep, Big Mac said. Suddenly the cutest little girl scampered into the kitchen, complete with an oversized bow attached to her head and a school backpack over her shoulder. Boy, am I starving. Applejack snapped out of her cynical mood at the sight of her little sister. Morning, Applebloom, you slept alright? Sure did. What's for breakfast? Applebloom asks. Big Mac was a man of few words and answered his little sister's request with a plate full of food, to which the little girl dove right in, devouring far more than a typical 6-year-old normally would this early in the morning. Morning, kids, their mother Megan Apple greeted them as she entered the kitchen. 1. Hi Mom, her kids greeted her. Don't be late for school. Your father and I will be working late to get to harvest in, Megan said, having already eaten. Also remember to leave something for your grandma. We will, Applejack said as their grandma is sleeping in. The three siblings ran out the front door to catch the bus. The farmhouse sits in front of a large orchard that's been around since the town was founded. The apple orchard, thanks to the best-selling book series My Little Pony their mother has written, has allowed the old farm to be modernized. They were also given a grant to start producing their own brand of beverage. Sunsets or Saparilla is an apple-based drink that has become quite popular with the people of Ponyville. They have also been shipping out some cases to the surrounding towns and getting some good feedback. And here we are at the farm that started this city. The home to the apples who have been here even before it was a town, which town became a city. Home to Sunsets or Saparilla, which thanks to the investment of Chaos Incorporated, the up-and-coming game company, is spreading out to other towns around us. For those who don't know, Ponyville is a farming town that exports to the surrounding towns. But thanks to Chaos Incorporated setting up shop here, the town is becoming more modern as more people are coming here to work and make their home. A pink-haired hyper teen all but shouted to her camera crew. Pinkie Pie, what are you doing? Applejack asks her friend to make her two younger sisters Marble and Limestone be her camera and make crew in that order. She's making a student film, Mod Pie, the girl's older sister said. Who is staying out of her little sister's wild idea after the last one didn't work out so well. She doesn't even want to think about it. Wait, isn't Ponyville a town? Why is she calling Ponyville a city then back to town? Applebloom asks. It was till it became a part of Canterlot City thanks to urban growth. And now the town is listed as being a part of Canterlot City on the map, Applejack explains. So do I call Ponyville a town or a city? Applebloom asked. Either is fine, Big Mac said. That's right, all day, I'm going to be filming and showing what a wonderful town Ponyville is. And we'll enter it in the Chaos Incorporated contest, and Discord the CEO will choose it to show it on his company's website. And we'll win the new game console, Pinkie Pie shouted. Get back in your seats, lightning dust, the bus driver shouted, causing all the students to settle down. Okay, are we on? Pinkie Pie asks her sisters, who gave her a thumbs up. She's now standing in front of the high school she goes to with her friends. Welcome back to the Pie Cast. We're here in front of Canterlot High, the oldest high school of Ponyville, which is where many of my friends go to, Pinkie Pie said as she pointed her sisters to the film where she's pointing at. The girl with rainbow-colored hair came racing by on a bike. She zoomed past the three and parked her bike on the bike rack in front of the school. Right behind her is a younger purple-haired girl on a scooter, who folded it up and followed the older girl into the school. That was Rainbow Dash, the fastest girl in the school, and her little sister Scootaloo, who were running late to school again, Pinkie Pie said as she noticed Vice Principal Luna standing next to her. Girls got to class now and she ordered them. The camera feed stops as the Pie sisters run before the first bell. Hi, it's lunchtime and it's time to show you more of our school, Pinkie Pie said as she walked the halls with her sisters following her. She opens a classroom to show a purple-haired girl, making a younger girl with a purple and pink hair model for her as she tries to find the right hat to go with the dress. She is helped by a pink-haired girl and another who is wearing all orange. A dark-skinned girl dressed in indigo is working on some fabrics on a sewing machine. In here we see Sweetie Belle being the model for one of her sister Rarity's dresses. Helped by her friend Crepe Suzette, Lala Orange and Indigo, Pinkie Pie said as she closed the door to go to the next one. In the next room a pink-haired girl in a large yellow sweater is singing as she is being recorded by a girl with black and pink hair, is working the record systems. Another girl with long black hair is singing along with her, another dress in a more refined sense is playing the cello, another girl with light blue and white hair is playing a lyra, and another girl with dark blue and pink highlights wearing pink glasses is working the sound system. In here Fluttershy is being held by Cherry Jam to get over her stage fright. She does this by having their song recorded to be played later. Bone Bone is recording while Lyra Heartstrings, Octavia Melody and Vinyl Scratch are backing up the singers, Pinkie Pie said as she noticed that all the people in the room had stopped what they're doing as she just ruined their take. Moving on, Pinkie said as she closed the door. In the next room some girls are working on putting together a machine of some kind. Two girls, one wearing a large light purple hat and a blonde, are putting pieces together. While two glass-wearing girls, a blonde with a hat with a smiling flower on it and a violet-haired girl are working on two computers. In here Ginger Snap and Banana Candy are helping TN Honey and Shy Violet with one of their machines, Pinkie Pie said. Humming through, a red boy dressed in red said as he carried a box into the room walking past Pinkie. And the one who just walked past is Red Butler, Pinkie said as she closed the door. Pinkie pointed out of an open window and her sisters followed her filming outside. The window overlooked the field and students were out and about. Over there are the sports couple Patty O'Green who is holding Buddy Blue's legs for his sit-ups, they're always in training. A blue-haired boy is doing sit-ups as a green-haired girl is holding her legs. Over there doing some new cheers are Canary Yellow, Tickled Pink, Moonglow, Angel Cake, Lime Chiffon and Apricot. The cheer squad is doing a new cheer that their squad leader, a yellow-haired girl, came up with. And over there in the school garden is Strawberry Shortcake, Apple Dumplin', Orange Blossom, Mint Tulip and Café au lait. They're having their photo taken by Photo Finish. A girl wearing a strawberry like that stood in front of her fellow garden club members, having their picture taken by a white-haired girl wearing pink glasses. And over there under a tree, talking with Applejack are Annie Oatmeal and Caramel Corn. Applejack is talking with two brown-haired girls dressed like her in a country style, with one wearing a cowboy hat. Over there Lemon Meringue and Peach Blush are fixing up Limelight's hair. A brown-haired girl and a blonde are busy as they fix up another blonde's hair. On the stands are Stormy and Peppermint Fizz. A purple-haired girl just as a punk rocker is talking with a brown-haired girl dressed in red and white clothes and a hat. Oh look, it's Huckleberry and Cry's having a race. Too bad they're way behind Raspberry Tort, the biggest and strongest girl in the school. Two boys, one wearing an old straw hat and the other a bike helmet, are trying to catch up to a very tall girl with long purple hair. And helping Derpy with her muffins is Rainbow Bright who is always so colorful. A blonde-haired girl with one lazy eye is carrying a basket of muffins, helped by a blonde girl dressed in all the colors of a rainbow. And over there far on the other side of the field are Rainbow Sherbet, Coco Calypso and Seaberry Delight, the school boating team, Pinkie said to her camera crew. A light purple-haired girl wearing a colorful hat is busy repairing a small boat. Helped by a tan-skinned girl with brown locks and wearing a green hat with flowers on it. Appearing out of the water from underneath the boat is a long blonde-haired girl. Pinkie, what are you doing? Twilight Sparkles asks. Standing with her are Plum Puddin', Blueberry Muffin, who are showing the three new students around. Tea Blossom, Frosty Puff and Tangerina Torta, whose families have moved into town. Oh, we're entering the Chaos Incorporated contest for a new game console. For once, I have the new game console, I will have the power, Pinkie shouted as she waves her hands in the air. As photo cutouts of lightning appeared over her hands. The problem is that the lightning would only appear when she cuts and pastes the final cut of the film. Which means she's just saying power and holding it for a long time while she's waving her hands in the air. Causing her three friends and the three new students wondering what's going on. Oh no, a giant spider laser eyes, Pinkie shouted as she blasted the giant spider with laser eyes that isn't cut into the film yet. Giant spiders? Tangerina Torta asks, wondering what's with the pink-haired girl. Oh no more, Pinkie shouted as she let out more lasers from her eyes. Which will be edited later again. Is she always like that? Frosty Puff asks. Yes, both Limestone and Marble answered. They're her sisters. They live with her, Plum Puddin' pointed out. And she's always doing things like this, Blueberry Muffin adds. It must be tough, Tea Blossom said. Please help us, both sisters said as they continue to film their sister blasting spiders that aren't even there. Pinkie, what's going on? Cheerly asks as she walks into the frame shot. Oh no, the spiders are all over Cheerly, the English teacher. Don't worry, I'll save you, Pinkie said as she blasted the spiders off of said teacher that wouldn't be shown till after the final cut. Shirley just stood there dumbfounded as Pinkie acted like she's blasting things off of her. A crowd formed around the scene, all wondering what Pinkie is doing this time. Zakora, the chemistry teacher, appeared in front of the camera. "Girls, go to your classes while we have a talk with your sister." The camera feed stops. "Hi, after a long talk with the teachers, it's back to showing you all about this town," Pinkie said to her sisters, who continue to film her. "Pinkie, are you going to do this all day?" A green and red-haired girl asks as she walks by behind Pinkie. "Yes, I am Watermelon Kiss," Pinkie answers as she raises her fists into the air. "For nothing, and nothing will ever stop me from creating a video that will get me a free game console." "Hey Pinkie, want to come along? My mom called and her first edition of her new book is out," Applejack said, walking into the frame shot. "Great," Pinkie shouted as she and her sisters loved the book. "What about the console?" Limestone asks. "And nothing will ever stop you?" Marble asks. "New book now, game console later," Pinkie said as she motions for the feed to stop. And we're back. Pinkie Pie here in the Apple family farm and the birthplace of the book series My Little Pony. "And we're talking with said author of the book, Megan Apples," Pinkie Pie shouted to the camera. "Settle down," Megan said, having dealt with Pinkie for years now. She's sitting in the family living room on the couch while the other family members stood on the sidelines out of frame. In her lap is the new book for her book series. "So tell the viewers, what's the new plot in the book?" Pinkie asks her. The new book is titled The Bell and the Ram. The villain is Groger, an evil demonic ram necromancer who once ruled Ponyland 500 years ago. He escaped from the shadow world where he was banished to and is now bent on revenge. Now the ponies of Dream Valley and their human friends must work together to find the ancient bell that was used to banish him before he finds it first, Megan explains, not wanting to give out too much. "That's so great, I sure wish that something like that happens around here," Pinkie said as she zips to the living room window. "Oh no, a dragon is attacking." Pinkie runs outside with her sisters following and starts fighting the dragon with laser eyes while her sisters film it, causing the Apple family to stare out of the window. With the Pie family farm nearby, they have gotten used to Pinkie Pie, but only so much. "What is she doing?" Paul asks his daughter, Applejack. "Fighting a dragon that she will edit into the film later," she answers. "Has she been doing this all day?" Megan asks. "Yup," Big Mac said. "She's just as hyper as ever," Granny said, watching from the window. "At least her parents cut her off from having sugar," Paul said. "She's hyper as it is already," Megan said, remembering how Pinkie gets when she has sugar. "Once we gave her a lot of sugar just so she'll be able to beat Raspberry Tort in a race," Applejack said. "Was that when she fell down in the middle of the track and was fast asleep?" Applebloom asks. "Yup, and why she's banned from having any sugar while in school," Granny said as she works at the school as a lunch lady. A loud boom echoed through the house, causing the house to shake. The apples came out of the house to see the Pie sisters staring into the apple orchard where the sound came from. "Pinkie, what happened?" Applejack shouted. "There was a big lightning strike, follow me," Pinkie Pie shouted as she raced off to see where the lightning strike hit. "Granny waited here with Applebloom," Megan said as she, Paul, Applejack and Big Mac ran after the Pie sisters. They needed to see what kind of damage the lightning did to the orchard. The apples ran deep into the orchard on the heels of the Pie sisters. They came to the spot where the lightning came down to see the Pie sisters gathered around something. Coming closer, they saw they were gathered around the still body of a young boy with spiky blonde hair, dressed in what's left of an orange jumpsuit. In his arms is an oversized paper scroll. "Oh god, he must have been struck by the lightning," Megan said as she quickly reached into her pocket to get her cell to call 911. "Is he alive?" Applejack asks. "Yes he is," Pinkie Pie said as she checked if he's still breathing. "Son, help me bring him to the house," Paul said as he and Big Mac carried the young boy between them, carrying him to the house. "Help is on the way," Megan said as she looks at the burnt ground where the lightning struck and up into the sky, not seeing a single cloud that the lightning bolt could come from. In the Ponyville hospital, Megan stood at the counter as she explained what happened to Nurse Redeard. The ambulance and the paramedics came to the farm, but they needed one of the apples to come along to fill out some forms. Megan rode in the ambulance with the boy, while the other members of her family stayed behind. "Megan, there you are," Fleetfoot said as she and Soren came into view. "You came to make a police report?" Megan asks her old friend who joined the police force. "Not every day a kid gets struck by lightning. You found anything on him?" Fleetfoot asked. "Just an empty frog-shaped wallet," Megan said, handing her the frog wallet, then she pointed to the oversized scroll. "He also had that." "A scroll?" "Soren asked me to pick it up. And he was dressed in an orange jumpsuit and had this on him too," Megan said, handing over a kunai larger than what real ninjas used. "A ninja fan, that's just great," Fleetfoot said, remembering the old wizard and dragons geeks in high school. "Now it's ninjas that are all the rage." 1. Thinking about it, he's dressed like what an anime ninja would wear, Megan said as she's been to Comic-Con during a sneak peek at the upcoming animated movie based on her first book. Any idea why he was in the orchard? Fleetfoot asked. None, Megan said. He just appeared out of nowhere. Funny thing is that there weren't any clouds in the sky that could produce a lightning bolt that hit him. You should ask Pinkie Pie and her sisters, they were filming outside when we all heard the boom. What is she doing this time? Soren asks, remembering what happened last time. No one wants to talk about it. She was fighting a dragon that she will edit into the shot later, Megan deadpanned. Enough said, Fleetfoot said. What will happen to him? Megan asks. If no one comes for him, he'll become a ward of the state, Soren said. Well, once he wakes up he can tell us, Megan said, wondering who the boy is. Well, if he's anything like Firefly, maybe he'll take you into a world of ninjas, Fleetfoot said as the girl in the book has the same name as the writer. She likes to think that Megan just wrote of all the made-up adventures she had when she was younger on her family's old horse ranch. Yeah, that'd be something, Megan said as she fingers a heart-shaped locket she always wore around her neck. In one of the rooms, Dr. Horse looked over the young boy who was struck by lightning. He saw the signs of many operations having been done on the boy. From the looks of things, the doctors were doing the operations to fix his body. The X-rays showed that much, bones having been rebroken to be set right, organ transplanted and other operations to fix his body. He also suffers from malnutrition and stunted growth. Whatever the boy went through must have been hell for him. Well, doctor, how is he? Nurse Redeard asks. Not well, I am afraid. He's been through a lot but looks like someone has been operating on him. And from what I'm seeing, he's been in and out of the operation room for more times than I can see. It's like he's been operated on only to heal enough to be operated on again. All to heal his body. The lightning strike has damaged his body too beyond its limits. He shouldn't be alive, Dr. Horse said. Isn't that taxing on the body? Nurse Redeard asks. Yes, it is. He shouldn't even be alive with all the back-to-back operations he's been put through, Dr. Horse said. All I can say is that whoever the group who did the operations on him is very good. I wish I know how they did it. I can see more than a dozen operations done on him. His body systems are all strained at their limits just to keep his body going. It's like he survived something he shouldn't have and was operated on till he was all better. Or maybe it's just the operations were just held back till they needed to fix everything, Nurse Redeard said. Yes, that could be, Dr. Horse said, knowing what she's getting at. Better report possible child abuse. Have the dental records found anything on him? We check and there is no one on the database that matches him. We also checked his fingerprints and nothing. He's not in any of the files. I had his files sent to the mainframe and still nothing. He's a John Doe or he has never been put into any database, Nurse Redeard said. We learn more when he wakes up, Dr. Horse said as he read stories of these kinds of things happening before. A child hidden away or kept in total isolation, nothing good ever comes out of it. What do we tell the cops and Ms. Apple, the one who brought him in? Nurse Redeard asks. Tell them that the boy should be awake in the next couple of days. Till then he must have rest, Dr. Horse said as he walked Nurse Redeard out of the room, letting the unnamed boy have his rest. The next day at school, Applejack found herself surrounded by her friends and fellow classmates during lunch. With Pinkie and her sisters having filmed the lightning strike and then having uploaded it on YouTube on their page, all the students quickly found out what happened last night. Things like that don't happen a lot and are always big news when they happen. Well? Rainbow Dash asks Applejack. I already told you all what I know. The kid is badly hurt and is in the hospital. Mom went with him and answered some questions for the cops. She was told that he'll come around in a couple of days, Applejack said. What was he doing on your farm? Buddy Blue Ash. Have no idea, Applejack said. Well, whoever he is, doesn't know that the ninja craze is dead, Sunset Slimmer spoke up from the next table. She's sitting with Trixie, Stormy and Peppermint Fizz. Sunset Slimmer used to be the top girl in school till Twilight beat her as the school dance princess last year. Rainbow Dash pointed out that everyone hates her from being the alpha bitch and having no redeeming qualities at all. No one voted for her at all, and no one would talk to her for the rest of the year. That's when Lightning Dash, the bus driver, took her aside and told her about how she was just like her when she was her age. That she spent her entire high school year doing nothing but making the other kids as miserable as she could, that once high school life was over, it was all downhill for her. She was lucky to land a job at all with all the people who hated her guts in the town. It's only thanks to the town becoming bigger as more people moved in that she has people she can talk to, as they didn't have to deal with her in high school. Even with her family being well off, it was her sister, the down-to-earth and nice one, who they left everything to, as she's the one with the family and needed the money more. 2. Sunset Slimmer was a different person than she was last year, but she was still an outcast. She did manage to become friends with Trixie and her two friends. She and her friends are jerks, but have redeeming qualities that allow them to befriend other kids. Trixie likes to entertain younger kids with her magic tricks, Stormy is always willing to help out if someone is in trouble, and Peppermint Fizz is the same. Sunset please, he was struck by lightning and lucky to be alive, Peppermint snaps at her. Well she's a jerk, even she doesn't make fun of someone who gets hurt like that. Well she did make fun of Rainbow Dash after she broke her leg after a stunt went bad, but she did pointed out how dumb it is to try to jump over a car on rollerblades. Sorry, Sunset said, not wanting to be kicked out of the only group that lets her be with them. Pinkie, what did you and your sisters see? Applejack asked the girl sitting at her table. Lightning suddenly appeared out of nowhere and boom, Pinkie said, making a booming sound. All of her friends gave her a flat look, seeing they're not going to get anything out of her. Too bad they only got a few seconds of that, Cherry Jam said after seeing the vid online. Don't worry, I'm sure that someone will be able to figure it out. Like Dr. Wooves in his big blue box, he'll be able to figure it out, Pinkie said. You mean the guy who lives in the junkyard in that blue RV? Petio Green asks. Isn't he trying to turn that RV into a time machine? Banana Candy asks. Yes he is, Pinkie said. He's always asking people to find him things that he can't find in that junkyard of his, Canary Yellow spoke up. He posts what he needs on the school board, Rarity said. He asked for lemon peels last week, Bone Bone said. An old TV before that, Red Butler adds. They're all parts he needs to build his time machine, Pinkie defends him as she likes to hang around him and help him. There's no way any of those things would create a time machine, Tien Honey said, who is the smartest girl in school. I agree with her. How machine parts are one thing, but lemon peels. Shy, Violet adds. She and Honey always hang out with each other. But he's smart, he fixes the school lightning with paper C and rubber bands, plus a wad of gum, Pinkie pointed out. I don't understand how he did that, Banana Candy said with Ginger Snap, both are good at putting together machines, both being gadgets, but even they don't understand how Dr. Wooves is able to do what he does. He just slap things together and they just work, which is why besides running the junkyard, he is also the repairman everyone turns to fix things. He's just better at putting things together than MacGyver. It's tin cans and an old transistor radio method of construction, he's a mechanical genius, Pinkie explained. I just wish he'll build me a giant robot with a car for a head like in Mega's XLR, the greatest humongous mecha of all time. What about those anime? Plum Puddin asked. Please, those are all about drama, politics, or girls in revealing outfits with big boobs. Forget all about that, I just want a giant robot fight without any messages, Pinkie said. 3. He might be good at putting things together but come on. The boy got struck by some weird lightning, nothing more, Stormy said. You're right about that. Whoever he is, I hope he's doing okay, Applejack said. With no one stepping in to claim him, the boy was now under the Apple family care till the boy's family is found. Originally a small farming town of Ponyville that has been connected to Canterlot City thanks to urban growth. The town has become heavily industrialized by the investments of Chaos Incorporated. Under the guidance of Mayor Mare, the town grew rapidly, transforming from a small farming community to an industrialized town. However, the town's expansion and modernization was accompanied by a spiraling crime rate that was unheard of years earlier. The Ponyville police force, thanks to Chaos Incorporated funding, they are a well-equipped force. The main headquarters of a former church is located in downtown Ponyville. Smaller precincts are spread around the town due to the size of the expanding township. Approximately 40% of the town's inhabitants are directly employed with Chaos Incorporated, working in its many businesses, as the founder and CEO of the company Discord has all the game consoles made within the town, as he doesn't trust having his factories ship overseas. So he built his factories in Ponyville and brought back life in the slowly dying town, as the lack of high-paying local employment caused many young people to move to Canterlot City, which caused new homes and businesses to open up as the town grew, as people began moving into the town for the new jobs there. New high-paying jobs for a raising gaming company is having both good and bad effects on Ponyville. 1. Inside the police building, Police Chief Spitfire looks over the file on her desk about the boy found after a lightning strike. She has seen the video that Pinkie Pie and her sisters had shot. The video showed lighting just appearing in the sky without any clouds. And since the tape wasn't edited, as Pinkie was being herself. Fleetfoot, are you there? Spitfire asked as she hit the intercom. Humming, Fleetfoot said as she came inside the office of the chief. Still nothing on the boy? Spitfire asked. Sent everything that could be used to find out who he is and still nothing. He's a John Doe, it's like he just appeared out of nowhere, Fleetfoot said. Well, if this was a show, the lightning strike could be what brought him to us, Spitfire said. You have been reading Megan's books too much, Fleetfoot said. Lightning appears out of a cloudless sky and a young boy dresses as a ninja. And that oversized scroll and ninja weapon being kept in the evidence room. The scroll is full of Japanese drawings, and there's no one in the force that can translate it, Spitfire said. I read manga and it looks like someone just wrote over what's already written, Fleetfoot adds. There is also the matter of what to do with the boy. We can send him to a group home once he wakes up, Spitfire said. Already taken care of. The apples are going to take him in as he was hurt on their farm, Fleetfoot said. That's one problem taken care of, Spitfire said. Why are you so interested in this? Fleetfoot asked. Because, I haven't seen anything this strange happening since I was still in middle school. A strange rainbow kept on appearing and disappearing around the apple farm. Now a strange lightning appeared out of nowhere and a boy dressed as a ninja just appeared, Spitfire said. You're not telling me you believe that all those books that Megan wrote are based on what happened to her? Fleetfoot asked. No, I don't, I just think that strange rainbow is just a base for her idea to write those books for her. But since Pinkie Pie has her hands in it, it's just better to get it solved before she decides to try to solve it herself. You remember what happened last time, Spitfire pointed out. I thought we all agreed to never speak of it again, Fleetfoot said. I just want to forget it, Spitfire said, agreeing. But the fact remains from what Dr. Horse has found it looks like the boy was abused for years. No denying that, Fleetfoot agreed as the boy showed all the signs of child abuse. That can't rule it high. Come on, you have to do better than Raspberry Torte said as she and the other girls enter the girls' locker room after a basketball game. I could say the same to you, Applejack said as she walked next to the taller girl. It's just lucky for you two that I'm shorter than you two or I would beat both of you, Patty O'Green said as she liked the others change out of their gym clothes. I don't need to be tall. I have speed, that's all I need, Rainbow Dash said, joining in. The other girls kept out of it as the four strongest girls in sports began to argue with each other. Applejack was the toughest due to her farming life and stood 5'11" even at 16 years old. Raspberry Torte was the same age as Applejack but stands at over 6 feet and still growing. Applejack got her height from her parents as her mother is tall at 6 feet while her father is just under 7 feet and was a former wrestler before giving it up after falling in love with Megan. Raspberry Torte on the other hand has normal-sized parents and no one knows where her height came from or the strength that came with it. Patty O'Green and Rainbow Dash are very into sports and are great athletes but are lacking in height. Patty O'Green stood at 5'4" while Rainbow Dash stood at just 5 feet. But thanks to their smaller bodies, both are able to move faster than either Raspberry Torte and Applejack. Patty O'Green has more skills in just about every sport played at school, allowing her to keep up with stronger athletes. While Rainbow Dash uses her light frame and small size to be able to move at a faster speed and is great at freestyle running. Raspberry Torte still can outrun her in a straight-out race, as her longer legs allow her to outpace her. Oh yeah, Raspberry Torte said as she finished pulling off her shirt and crossing her arms underneath her sport bra-covered assets. 2. At least, I don't have those slowing me down, Rainbow Dash growled as she doesn't need to wear a bra as she has nothing to support. Something that she is very touchy about. The good sports bra handles that, Raspberry Torte said being the girl with the biggest rack in school. But since she is so big all over on a normal-sized girl her age, it would look normal on her. Now stop that. Quite rubbing those things in Rainbow Dash's face, Applejack said. Fine, Raspberry Torte said as she started putting on her clothes. Applejack. Pinkie Pie asks to appear next to her already dress. Yes. Applejack asks. Is that boy still hasn't woken up? Pinkie Pie asks her. It's been a week since the lightning strike and the boy hasn't woken up yet. Nope, Applejack said. Mom hasn't heard a word from the hospital yet. I'm sure he will wake up soon and we'll be able to discover why he suddenly appeared after that strange lightning strike. I hope it will be something like in your mother's books, Pinkie Pie said. Yeah sure he's a real ninja from a ninja world and has come to our world to find special people to aid him to fight against a demon that's taking over his world, Rainbow Dash said offhandedly. That's so cool I can become a ninja, Pinkie Pie shouted out. Then darted out of the locker room. Rainbow Dash quickly found herself surrounded by Muid, Marble and Limestone. All three of them had flat looks on their faces which is normal for them. In fact most of the students at the school still can't believe that the wild and crazy Pinkie Pie is related to her sisters because of how different they are to her. Now you did it, Muid said. Pinkie is going to go and try to be a ninja now, Marble adds. Like the time she tried to be a superhero, Limestone pointed out. Oh yeah, Rainbow Dash said, rubbing the back of her head. Sorry about that. You're not the one who lives with her, Muid pointed out. And we have to deal with her all the time, Limestone said. You were also the one who caused her to get that idea in her head. You know the thing that everyone agreed to never speak of again, Marble said, causing all the girls in the room to glare at Rainbow Dash. Heh, I didn't think she would actually do it, Rainbow Dash said as she is still being blamed for that one. Don't worry Rainbow. You can join our group if Pinkie does what she did before, Sunset Slimmer said. Oh no she isn't, Peppermint Frizz spoke up. Yeah we don't need her in our group. If she causes what happened the last time she gave Pinkie a bad idea, Stormy said. Rainbow Dash you need to go and put a stop to Pinkie's plans on being a ninja before it's too late, Trixie said. We all agree with her. That you need to stop what you started this time, Twilight Sparkle said as she spoke for everyone. Right, Rainbow Dash said not liking all the glare she's getting as she quickly dresses and runs off to stop Pinkie. In Ponyville General Hospital. Naruto had no idea where he was after awakening to find himself in an all too familiar hospital room. It's different from what he remembers being in before, but it's the same smell and feel. Having spent a year in a hospital he knows the feeling all too well. Looking around he saw that everything was designed differently from what he remembers. He felt so weak he couldn't move. He never felt like this before, like something was wrong with him. But then he realized something. Why does he know what a hospital is like and why was he in one for a year? He tried to remember but he couldn't, just bits and pieces. So you're awake at last, a man dressed as a doctor said as he entered the room. Naruto says nothing as he watches the doctor work on the machines connected to him. Naruto. I'm Dr. Horse and you're in Ponyville General Hospital. We have been treating you here since you were brought in. You've been asleep for a week now, Dr. Horse explains. So tell me young man what's your name? Naruto, he remembers his name. Where do you come from? Dr. Horse asks. He sees that Naruto is having a tough time answering. It's common for children like him to block out traumatic experiences and with him in a coma, memory loss is expected. I can't remember, Naruto said. I was afraid that it looks like the lightning strike has affected your memory. You were found in an apple farm after being struck by lightning, Dr. Horse said, not wanting to tell the young man that it's likely that he was abused. It might be better for him to not remember what happened to him. I was? Naruto asks. Yes but don't worry the family who owns the farm is going to take you until we find your family, Dr. Horse said. Family? Naruto said to himself wondering why that seemed so important to him. 3. Yes they're going to take you in, Dr. Horse answers. Naruto reached for his cheeks if he was checking something that he couldn't remember. Oh you want to see yourself here's a mirror, Dr. Horse said, handing him a small mirror. Naruto took a look at his face in the mirror. The face he saw in the mirror was off for some reason. He rubs his cheeks not remembering, but knows that something was missing from his cheeks. All he saw was the face of a young boy who doesn't remember who he is. Driving the old beat-up truck, Megan drove the boy Naruto back to the farm. She and her family had agreed to take him until the police found his family. Megan talks to her mother and Paul about taking him in and setting up the guest room for him to use. The family farm home is a large farmhouse as the Apples are a big family. Her mother had lots of brothers and sisters while growing up and the house reflected that. The house was now much emptier as the Apple family spread out with her mother staying, with her staying to take over the farm after Danny and Molly left to start their own lives elsewhere. So they have plenty of room. So Naruto do you remember anything? Megan asks him. She was told by the doctors about what they have found and the likelihood that he's a victim of child abuse. He seems to have blocked out that memory from his mind. It might be better for him not to remember till they find out what happened to him. She saw how small he is and according to him he is 13 years old. He's the same size as Applebloom is and she's only 10. He shouldn't be that small for his age and Dr. Horse showed her the pictures of his body. She saw how skinny he is which Dr. Horse told her that are the leftover marks of him being starved for most of his life. From what he has seen it seems that someone was fixing the damage done to him. Even now he needs an inhaler to breathe as his lungs are struggling just to take in air. No, Naruto said watching the landscape flying by the car window. Well don't push yourself to remember it will come back to you, Megan said. From how Naruto has been acting he has never seen a car before, in fact some things he's been seeing since getting out he's acting like he has never seen before. With him losing his memory he might not remember what some things are, but having to be shown how to use something that was just basic knowledge. 1. This is Apple, thank you for taking me in. I'll make myself useful to repay you, Naruto said. Now young man. You just got out of the hospital and need to recover, Megan said. Why are you taking me in, Naruto asks her. Let's just say that this isn't the first time someone just appeared on the farm looking for someone to help them, Megan said, remembering that day that changed everything for her. Only it wasn't a lightning strike that came out of a cloudless sky the last time. The truck drove up the driveway of the farm stopping in front of the house. Megan turned off the engine and got out of the truck. She walks over to Naruto's side and opens the door and unbuckles his seatbelt. She saw that he has a hard time with it and how to open the car door or how to use the seatbelt. She lent him a hand helping him out of the car and closed the door behind him. She led him inside the house, never letting go of his hand. Once inside they were greeted by Paul who is sitting in front of the TV. Granny was at the school along with the kids. Naruto was taken aback by the sheer size of Paul, who towers over just about everyone. Megan saw this and smiles as she saw Naruto trying to hide behind her. She remembers how she felt when she first laid eyes on Paul, who at the time went by the stage name Lumberjack. With her standing at 6'3", she towers over many people till she meets Paul, who stands at 6'11", nearly 7 feet, and is built like a bear. Both their oldest are already growing up big for their ages. AJ is almost up to her height and Big Mac is just an inch shy of Paul. Applebloom wasn't showing any growth yet, but she'll spring up sooner or later. "Hello there," Paul said as he kneels down to Naruto. "Hello," Naruto said, still hiding behind Megan. "Here, is the guest room ready?" Megan asks him. "I set it all up for him," Paul said. "I'll settle him in his room." Paul goes to the truck and gets his meds, Megan said. "Dr. Horse has given some meds to help Naruto to recover his strength." "Alright dear," Paul said, walking past them and out the door. I'll show you to your room," Megan said. "Okay," Naruto said, being led by hand by Megan. At Sugar Cube Corner. Rainbow Dash enters the local teen hangout run by Mr. and Mrs. Cake. A bakery that is also a coffee shop that has become a hangout for teens. She saw several of her friends in the cafe as many kids stopped by before going home. Rainbow Dash spotted her friends at a table and joined them. "Well?" Twilight asks her as she and the others look at her. "I talk with Pinkie and stop her before she starts dressing up as a ninja," Rainbow Dash answers, to the size of relief of everyone in the cafe hearing the news. "Good," Applejack said. "Unlike what happened the last time." "I already said I was sorry about that," Rainbow said. "You were just about the only person that wasn't hit in the fallout," Fluttershy said. "How was I supposed to know that Pinkie would go and make a party cannon?" Rainbow said. "You know very well that Pinkie can't help herself when she gets an idea in her head," Rarity said. "And we all knew each other for years. I mean, just look at Pinkie. Wasn't it clear that day what would happen if you gave her an idea like a party cannon?" "I don't get why Pinkie just doesn't go on meds," Rainbow said, sitting down at the table. "Her parents tried to remember," Twilight pointed out. "Oh yeah, they did," Rainbow said, remembering what happened during that time Pinkie was on meds. She had blocked it out of her memory for a reason. She was scared. "She creeped out everyone," Applejack said, remembering the flat-haired Pinkie Pie who had a dark outlook on life. "I rather deal with a wild and crazy Pinkie than her," Rarity stated, as during that month that Pinkie was on meds she was just plain scary. Even Sunset Shimmer, when she was still the mean girl, was scared of her. Too. "Hey Applejack, is your family really taking in that boy?" Rainbow asked as she wanted to get the topic off of Pinkie and how she caused a big mess last year. "Mom talks with the rest of the family and we do have plenty of room," Applejack said. "Your home is a 3-story big farmhouse," Twilight said as she and the others used to explore all the rooms of the house when they were younger. "Also girls, you should know he has health problems and needs an inhaler, so be on the lookout if you see him in trouble. After he settles down he's going to be starting school with us next week," Applejack said. "I'll throw him a big welcome party," Pinkie Pie shouted out, appearing next to the table to the surprise of her friends. "No," her friends all said at the same time. "Ah, why not?" Pinkie Pie asks. "He's in poor health and he shouldn't be overexcited," Twilight said. "And the poor dear has been through a lot," Rarity adds. "Not to mention what happened the last time you threw someone a surprise party," Applejack said. "Oh yeah," Pinkie said, blushing. A pair of powerful arms grabbed Pinkie and lifted her off the ground. Maud Pie, the oldest of the Pie children, is also the strongest kid in town. She can push a bus with the brakes off, which she did when her pet rock boulder was underneath said bus. Maud carried her sister under her arm like a purse. "Come along Pinkie," Maud said as she carried her sister out of the store. "Well, that takes care of that problem," Applejack said. "At least Maud will keep her in line," Rainbow Dash said. "As long as you don't give her any more ideas," Fluttershy adds. "Oh come on. Besides, what happened the last time I ever gave her a bad idea?" Rainbow Dash asks. "Here's a list," Tien Honey said as she shoves a piece of paper in front of Rainbow's face. "I see you guys kept track," Rainbow Dash said, giving out a giggle as she shrinks in her table under the glares of her schoolmates. "After you gave her the great idea to help out in my family's beef farm. I have been keeping track of the bad ideas you've been giving her," Tien Honey said firmly. "Don't you ever get tired of causing a mess with the bad ideas you keep giving to Pinkie all the time?" Twilight asks. "Alright fine, I'll stop giving Pinkie ideas," Rainbow Dash said. "Let's just dogpile on her when we see her giving Pinkie a bad idea," Sunset Shimmer said, sitting at a nearby table with her group of friends. "Like anyone is going to do," Rainbow Dash stops herself seeing the looks from her friends. "If that's the only way you learn, I'm all for it," Strawberry Shortcake spoke up. "But Strawberry? You too?" Rainbow Dash asks, shock, as besides Fluttershy, Strawberry is the nicest girl in school with just about everyone her friend. Remember what thanks to you Pinkie ended up causing that mess with the jam factory, Strawberry said as her family owns the jam factory which several of her friends' families apply for jam making. Well she did cause your family to start making that mess she made after it caught on, Rainbow Dash said. Yeah lucky for us that half the time Pinkie causes a mess, it ends up being a good thing, Tea and Honey said, having kept track of also the long-term effects of what Pinkie's messes cause. Alright, I'll stop and won't talk with her about any of my ideas. In fact, I'll stop her every time she does act on my ideas, Rainbow Dash said. Good. Me and my family are going to have our hands full already, Applejack said, wondering what the boy is like. Outside the limits of Ponyville. The vast and protected land of Everfree forest that rests outside the limits of Ponyville. Wild and untamed the forest is protected by state law where the wildlife can roam free. Everfree is also not prime land to build on, as the forest is also a wetland with swamps and bogs. The only signs of human life is the Civil Warrior fort that was abandoned after the railroad was built cutting through the mountains, allowing people to bypass the forest. The old forest road is still there being used till the 60s where the new highway was built. Now the road and the fort both falling to pieces are the only signs that people ever were in the forest. Taking the old road on her way to Ponyville, Gilda was heading to the town she thought she would never go back to. But with the new job springing up in the town, she couldn't say no to the first job offer she has gotten. She has finished high school and went to a community college as she couldn't afford a state one and got a degree in engineering. The job she has gotten is at Ponyville's dam that supplies power to the town. Her job is to clean the intake pipes to prevent clogs from forming. Not something she thought she would be doing, but a job's a job and there are bills to pay. The old car she got from her parents held up since she got it. She learned to maintain the car on her own, only paying to have it fixed when she couldn't do it herself. She would like to get a better car, but with things even with the new job ahead of her, she wouldn't be able to afford anything new yet. She had to make her money last as she is on her own now. Her only thoughts are now on keeping her job and keeping up the rent for her new apartment. As she drove down the old road only maintained for people who take the backwoods, she spotted something strange out of the corner of her eye. She saw a large wolf running through the trees. The woods are full of wolves, mountain lions and bears. But what was strange was that it looked like the wolf had more than one tail. Shaking it off as something that has nothing to do with her, she continues to drive on. Wondering if she'll run into that little kid with the rainbow hair again. Inside one of the ruined buildings of a western ghost town, Trixie, Stormy, Sunset Shimmer and Peppermint Fizz hid from the two bosses that made their home in the town. They had thought that with their combined might they would be able to beat the two. But they weren't strong enough to beat them. Okay, whose bright idea was this again? Peppermint Fizz asks as her Tinman armor is all dented. She leaned on her axe as she recovered her energy. It was Rainbow Dash's idea, Stormy said, holding her guitar like an axe. How about a healing spell? Sooned Shimmer asks Trixie, as well she is a magic user her talent is in battle spells. I'm out of mana after this, Trixie said, checking her cape and hat for damage. You still have your fireworks, Peppermint Fizz said, dressed in a red-orange robe. That doesn't work on them, Trixie said. Where is Rainbow and her team anyway? Stormy asks. The loud explosion causes the building they're in to shake as Rainbow Dash was thrown into and through the building. The team of four stared at the hole and the down form of Rainbow Dash. She is dressed in a form-fitting with bodysuit and helmet that has colored ribbons coming down from the top of her head. When she uses her super speed she leaves a rainbow behind her. She uses her speed along with the blades on her arms to make a twister of death. Which didn't help her in fighting the pair she was facing now. Humming into the whole Rainbow Dash's body left behind came Applejack's father Paul. Dressed in western clothes with a poncho that hides the thick body armor he wore underneath it. He's armed with a massive axe he swings with one arm and his left arm is covered with a mechanical gauntlet which contains a rotating triple-barreled machine gun and rocket launcher. And next to him is his wife Megan, who is armed with a railway rifle that fires railway spikes as crude flechettes, making a distinctive toot-toot noise after each shot like a train whistle. With her being so fast on her feet and able to jump around attacking long range, the toot-toot is the only warning you get that she's around. Take this, Trixie shouted as she threw what's left of her bombs at the couple. The bombs didn't even hit as Megan brought up her rainbow shield blocking the attack. It's a prefect shield as it can't be enter and only things can come out once it's on. And that it reflects all attacks back at the attacker. Trixie gave out an eep as her own bombs came back at her. The blast sent Sunset flying towards the couple while her two teammates were sent flying backwards. Sunset looked up to give her own eep as Paul brought his axe down on her. After getting back up Peppermint Fizz flew backwards as she was struck by a rail spike, sending her flying through the air and pinning her to a wall. Stormy seeing she's the only one summon her flying storm cloud to escape. She jump on using her guitar to shield from the battle couple's attacks. As she took off, Paul fired a heat-seeking rocket at her, and with her out of energy, Stormy couldn't stop it as it caught up and blew her out of the sky. "Alright gang, let's," Rainbow Dash shouted only to see that she's the only one left of the team. And that both Paul and Megan are aiming their weapons at her. Rainbow Dash let out a yell as she was blasted by both the couples at the same time. And a waiting to respawn screen covered up the map. In the real world. "Well, Rainbow Dork, you did it again," Sunset said over the online game comm. She sat on her bed as she played the game World of Chaos. An online game that has different worlds all coming together. There are different main factions on the game with different goals. Some players join the different factions, others form their own groups, and others are lone wolves who only join a group when they need to. Coming from Chaos Incorporated, the game is played by just about everyone who has a Chaos game console. "I thought we could take them," Rainbow Dash said over her comm. "Well, we didn't," Peppermint Frizz growled from her end. "We all used up a lot of items just trying to put a dent in them. You know very well, as you being Applejack's friend, that because of Megan agreeing to help promote the game that she and Mr. Apple is able to have NPCs modeled after them and that they can play their game models. Which are free-roaming boss-level players that when they do play take a Zerg rush of players just to defeat," Trixie sat on her end. "1. Come on, you know how rarely they play and you know how much loot they have on them when they are defeated when their NPCs are being played," Rainbow Dash said. "Yeah, but their power levels are doubled as well," Stormy said. "Next time find someone else to fight with you." "Well, none of the others are online right now and you four are it. Rainbow Bride and her team are taking on the Dazzle Pirates. And Strawberry Shortcake and her gang are launching an all-out attack on King Sombra's castle. I don't get why Bride and Strawberry don't like helping me," Dash said. "Maybe it's because when Shortcake, Bride and you were having a sleepover at Twilight's home. Thanks to you walking on in at an awkward moment, you came upon them in nothing but their underwear. Not letting them explain themselves, you automatically thought they were coming out of the closet. You went to Lyra and Bone who are open about them being gay, not there's a problem with that. Who helped you in setting up out of the closet party for them. Which after we threw the surprise party for them they were finally able to explain to you what happened. They ended up fighting over the last snack while they were dressing in their PJs and ended up in a dog pile," Trixie explains. "I thought they were going to die of embarrassment," Peppermint said. "What was I supposed to think? They had Twilight between them while in nothing more than their underwear," Dash said. "Which is why both Strawberry and Bride are still mad at you for spreading the rumor that they're lesbians who are into a group," Sunset said. "Well, it's not like either Flash, Huckleberry or Cries minded the idea that their girlfriends are lesbians," Dash said. "Yeah, that's a real surprise. They just thought they were just going through a phase or hitting both sides," Stormy said. "Besides, at least we showed them that if they were lesbians, we wouldn't think of anything different with them. They would still be who they are," Dash said. "That's true, but still. It will be a while before they get over that mess," Sunset said. At the Apples. Naruto sat next to Applebloom at the end of the dinner table as they have dinner. Megan, after speaking with Dr. Horse, was told that Naruto shouldn't eat any tough food for a while till he recovers so it wouldn't shock his system. While at the hospital, it was found that Naruto's stomach couldn't handle solid food, being a sign he's still recovering from malnutrition. So it'd be soup and stew for him till he can stomach solid foods. It seems whoever was treating him was also helping him to recover, but with the operations being done on him, he was fed a mostly liquid diet. So they're having beef stew for dinner. "So Naruto, next week you'll be coming to school with us," Applejack said to him sitting across from him. Her parents had already told her and Big Mac about what happened to Naruto. They have to be careful with him and that Applebloom shouldn't know, as she might tell her friends about Naruto. He doesn't remember what happened to him and it could be harmful for him. "Yes, I am," Naruto said softly as he kept to himself. "I'll show you around the school," Applebloom said. "Just don't overdo it," Big Mac said as their parents explained that they would need to keep a spare inhaler with them in case Naruto needs it. "He just needs to put some meat on his bones," Granny said sitting with them. "Aren't Mom and Dad going to be eating with us?" Applebloom asks. "They ate earlier and are now playing that game," Granny said. "Oh yeah, after dinner you should come and see the game," Applebloom said. "Game?" Naruto asks. "Just finish your dinner first," Granny said. After dinner, the kids joined the parents in the living room and sat on the floor or on the couch with the adults. Naruto and Applebloom sat on the couch while AJ and Max sat on the floor. Granny stayed in the kitchen cleaning the plates. Naruto sat and watched as Megan and Paul played a game on the box with moving pictures on it while their kids watch and cheered them on. He didn't know who he is or where he came from, but surrounded by the people who found him and have taken him in. He felt at peace, as if this was the first time he ever felt safe and sound with people he had only just met. 2. In the local junkyard. No, a man said to himself as he looked over the readings his cobbled together machine told him. The man is Dr. Woos, who runs the junkyard and lives in it. His blue RV sits in the makeshift garage he has built for himself, which also acts as his lab and machine shop, as he also makes his living in doing repairs around the town. If there's a machine problem he can fix it. Even Discord calls on him time to help out. Currently Woes is fighting to keep his computer from overheating after he had overclocked it. Even with the pieces he had taken from refrigerators, the heat exchangers from the fridge can only handle so much with all the overclocking he has done with his computer. Seeing it's going to overheat he shuts off his computer and lets it cool down. Maybe I should start using liquid nitrogen to keep it from overheating, Woes said to himself. 3. He looks over the printout and didn't like what he saw. He walked over to the wall where an older printout is pinned to the wall. He compared it to the new one and saw well it's different from what he detected years ago and what got him to move to this town. It is close enough that something like what happened years ago has happened again. Something is happening at that apple farm, Woes said to himself as he looks over all the papers he has set up on his information board. News clippings of strange rainbows, one about a flying pink pony, printouts of energy readings taken years ago, and newer ones just days old. And a new news clipping of a boy found after a lightning strike happening at the apple farm. Woes walks over to a bookcase as pulls out a book. The first book of My Little Pony written by Megan Apple, who kept her family name and whose husband also took after they got married. He had traveled across country when he first detected the strange energy and set himself up in town. But by then the energy readings just stopped, but all of his data pointed to the apple farm. He scanned the area, found trace amounts but nothing else. He stayed in the town and made himself a life here which he grew to like living in the small town and saw it grow bigger. But now his machine has detected the energy again and a strange boy suddenly appearing after lightning appearing in a cloudless sky. He looks at the book in his hands and wonders if all of the books Mrs. Apple has written just came from her head and not from real life. At the apples. In the attic, Megan was searching through the many boxes that have built up over the generations. At last, after shifting the boxes around, she found the wooden chest she hadn't opened for years. Pulling out an old key, she opens the old trunk that she hasn't opened since she was around AJ's age. Opening it, she sees the old worn leather-bound scrapbook on top. And on top of it is the real heart locket she has kept safe since the rainbow just disappeared and the childhood land of adventures was cut off. But the locket remained behind with her. She had a copy made which she wears around her neck. It's been a long time, Megan said to her old friend. She reaches in and takes the locket out and replaces it with the fake one. Megan, what are you doing up here? Granny asks as she leans over her grown daughter's shoulder. Why are you taking that thing out? Just preparing for the worst, Megan said, feeling whole as she wears the real locket around her neck again. It's about Naruto, isn't it? Granny asked. Yes. You remember what happened the last time something strange appeared on the farm, Megan said. When we still had horses on the farm, Granny said, having given up on raising horses to put more work in growing apples. It's been a while but I can still use it, Megan said, feeling the glow from within the locket. Do you think there will be trouble? Granny asked. Not from Naruto but from whatever sent him to us, Megan said. Thinking back, it was always an adventure whenever they showed up. Taking us to their world to help them or just to party. Yes, I remember that. Even went there to see for myself what kept bringing you kids back there, Granny said. They just needed me to help them. I was a kid hero who fought off the monsters that hunted them. Forced to give up so much just to help them, they acted more like children, always wanting to play rather than do what needed to be done, Megan said. And how you woke up screaming from the nightmares afterwards, Granny said, remembering it. I want to be ready so that the kids don't have to be kid heroes, Megan said, as the horrors of what she had seen and what she had to do still haunts her. I grew up during the war and during the Depression. And is something that I didn't want you kids to have to go through what I did, Granny agreed. We didn't just go through something else, Megan stated. Does it still work after all this time? Granny asked. It has never failed me before, Megan said, eyeing the heart locket around her neck. Where is Naruto? He's in his room sleeping. I've been helping him learn to read. It's like no one ever taught him how to read or write. The poor dear is so weak and has to use his inhaler all the time, Granny said, remembering how she helped teach the kids how to read and write when they were younger. You think whoever did what they did to him will come looking for him? It's the reason why I'm bringing out the big guns. If I see any danger that the cops can't handle, I'm blasting it, Megan said. 4. Really, just like that? Granny asked. Mom, you know what, I had to face it. I'm not going to hold off using something that can end the danger in one shot, Megan said, remembering all those times that she could have stopped the villain if she had just used the rainbow when it was revealed how deadly the villain really is. Well, don't just go trigger happy with it, we don't want to reveal that magic, and your books are based on what really happened to you, Granny said. If it keeps the family safe it will be worth it, Megan said. I'll see if Naruto is doing okay. If he's awake he can help me with supper, Granny said. Yes, it would be good to have him doing something, Megan said, seeing how much Naruto must have suffered before he came to the farm. He acted like a scared mouse in a room full of cats. So scared of everything but can't remember why. What she has seen and what the doctors have told her, it will be better that way. Elsewhere. At the school gym, students have gathered to help in setting up the school fall dance. It's always a big event for the school. And students help out with it and pick a theme for it each year. Which is going as well as all the others in the past. I say we have a food theme party, Strawberry Shortcake growled as she and Rainbow Bright butted heads. Now we have a color theme, one she growled back. Their friends just sat back as they watched the fireworks. It always comes down to the party planners having different ideas and them fighting it out. Last year it was a Halloween-themed dance and this year is still being fought for. I like a rock theme on myself, Maud suggested. A rock dance? Cool, we can all dress as rock stars, Scootaloo shouted out, standing with Applebloom and Sweetie Belle. She doesn't mean that kind of rock, Canary Yellow pointed out. Oh, Scootaloo said, having been nipped at the bud. But fun, Maud said, earning her odd looks from her classmates who all wonder how Pinkie is related to her. How about an anime theme? Lemon Meringue suggested. Oh sure, an anime one. Good luck with that. Most of the anime females we will never be able to cosplay as. I mean, most of the anime I have seen with girls around our ages all have big boobs. Like any 13 to 16-year-olds really have that kind of a mature figure, Rainbow Dash deadpanned. What about them? Orange Blossom asks, pointing to Applejack, Frosty Puff and Raspberry Tort. All three are under the age of 17 and all are huge schoolgirls. AJ and Raspberry like how there's another girl in the school that is over 6 feet in height. Frosty Puff like AJ and Raspberry has a mature figure to go along with her height that makes her look older than she really is. They're giants, of course they have figures to go with their height, Rainbow Dash mutters, not liking how puberty is leaving her far behind to her friends. Just 2 years ago both AJ and Raspberry were like her, well they were still taller than her, but not by much. Then puberty hit them and hit them hard and in less than a year they were both taller and figures had filled out. And it looks like it's not going to stop anytime soon. 5. Come on Rainbow Dash, don't be sulking like that. You can still grow. People don't stop growing till they're in their early 20s, Patio Green said. Yeah, Rainbow Dash said, wishing that she gets bigger so that her little sister wouldn't end up taller than her. How about a cake theme one? Angel Cake asks as her family makes wedding cakes. That would be the same as Strawberry's idea, Buddy Blue said. A tea party? Tea Blossom suggested. Still the same, Tangerina Torta said, sitting next to her. No, a magic theme one, Trixie said. No, Photo Finish said. How about a book theme one? We can set up everything like a classroom showing that you can have fun learning, Twilight spoke up, earning her looks from her friends. Sure, and we'll all be asleep on the tables, Peach Blush said. A barn dance? Applejack suggested. We had one 2 years ago, Limelight said. I know, Rarity began but was cut off by Huckleberry. Let me guess, Fashion Right, he said. How about muffins, Derpy said. Let's just combine your idea with Sis, Apple Dumplin suggested to Rainbow Bright. We can have food and make them colorful, Rainbow Bright said. And we can have a contest to see who brings the best dish both in looks and how it tastes, Strawberry said. Great, Peppermint Fizz said, as she isn't that good of a cook as many of her classmates are. That's so fair for all of us who aren't cooks, Sunset Shimmer said. Well, you might not win, but it's always nice to have others enjoy what you make, Banana Candy said. And it will save money for the school if we bring our own food, Bone Bone said. Which means we can have a bigger budget to make this dance great, Lyra adds. Great, I'll tell the teachers we decided then, Pinkie said as she zoomed out the gym's door. Oh yeah, everyone remember, Naruto will be attending school with us starting Monday, so everyone be nice to him. He has already had a rough time as it is, Applejack said. Yup, Big Mac said. Don't worry, we'll be nice, Cherry Jam said. They have already been told by the Apple siblings that Naruto is an abused child and will need support to help him. And we'll get him help if he needs it, Octavia said. Of course, that is if all of us remember not to mention he's been abused, Lala Orange said as she looks toward Sunset along with all the others. Hey, I'm not going to do that, Sunset said as she turned to Rainbow Dash. She's the one who does things without thinking. Hey, Rainbow Dash snaps. You did punch that bull in the face after it ate your salad, Sunset pointed out. 6. And it chases you into the school and causes one heck of a mess, Indigo adds. Where did that bull come from? Mintulip asks. It managed to escape from its pen and go out from my family's ranch, Annie Oatmeal said. And because of Rainbow Dash making it mad we had to put it down. Sorry about that, Rainbow Dash mutters. You will watch what you say around him, right? Applejack said, seeing Sunset having a point. I promise that I won't, Rainbow Dash said. Okay, but I'm going to tell Sis that you promise and you know how she gets if you break a promise, Marble said. Remember what happened when Red Butler went and broke his promise, Limestone said. Don't remind me, Red Butler said, trying to shake the memory away. We'll be his friends and give him love and support, Fluttershy said to Applejack. I know how to comfort him. Better wait to see if he has a bad reaction first, AJ said. Besides we have Winona and she likes Naruto, Applebloom said. Too bad he's scared of her, Big Mac said. We'll give him a warm welcome, Strawberry said. With friends like you guys, I know you all will, Applejack said. Then she looks at Sunset's group of friends. Right gang. We might be rude but we don't do that, Stormy said, being the leader of the gang. I have a family who has been abused, Trixie defended. And if we see kids picking on him we'll handle it, Peppermint said as she and her friends like to be bully hunters. As they can make the bullies miserable and not feel bad about it. They used to play mean pranks on Sunset when she was the school queen till everyone stopped pretending to like her. Thanks, Applejack said as Stormy's gang may be rough but they're jerks with hearts of gold. Hitting her alarm clock, Sunset stumbled out of bed as she forced herself out of bed. With no one but her in the house she had to take care of everything herself. Her dad is always away on business trips and her mother is an airline pilot. They're never home and her older sister Sunrays is living on campus at Canterlot College. She's been alone on her own for more years than she could remember. It was always something that her parents needed to do or help her big sister as she's the one that dotted on. With her sister 6 years older than she was the one that was always shown with attention. While she was neglected for most of her life till she was old enough that her parents didn't have to watch her all the time. But to her surprise Sunrays thinks she's the one who has the easier life since she can do whatever she wants and their parents won't say anything while they're always on her case. They're so demanding in regards to her intellectual and artistic talents and put so much pressure on her that Sunrise is stressed all the time. It got so bad she had a breakdown after not scoring a high grade on a test. She's now being treated for high blood pressure and other stress-induced illness. The doctor ordered for her parents not to press her or she might have a stroke. 1. It made her realize that for all of her wanting to have their parents' attention even if she became a troublemaker and bully in school to gain attention. It was better than becoming what her sister had become of all the pressure their parents put on her. It was her losing her crown at the dance and her sister having a breakdown in the same week is the reason for her realization that all her bullying was her need for attention that she wasn't getting at home. But with her parents with how they are she didn't want them as they would just pressure her like they did with her sister to become what they want her to be. Which is why she has worked hard in becoming friends with Stormy's group as they're the only ones who would take her in as their friend. She invited them over to her house sometimes as she's always alone. Her parents just gave her a credit card to buy what she needs and they paid the bills online. She rarely sees them as she can spend days before either of her parents showing up. Her mom is the one who she sees the most as she takes breaks between flying from one place to another. She also gets most of her designer clothes from her mom when she takes a break between trips. 2. Fixing herself a quick meal of eggs with cheese as she had to quickly learn to cook for herself. She ate in front of the TV watching The Muppet Show as she has the collection of the show on DVD. She enjoys watching them as she grew up watching them and the other Muppet shows. Seeing it's almost time she finishes up her meal and places the dishes into the sink. She would wash them when she gets home from school. Taking her school bag she left to grab the bus. At the school. Walking with Naruto, the Apple siblings showed him around the school before the first bell started. They needed to teach him about the school. The teachers have already been informed about his needs and be ready in case he needs medical attention. Their friends would lend him a hand when he needed it. Hi guys, Sunset said as she walked up to the apples. Hi Sunset, AJ said before pointing to Naruto. Meet Naruto. Hello, Sunset said as she looked over at the young boy standing behind AJ dressed in blue overalls and white shirt. She's shocked as he's just barely taller than Applebloom. Hi, Naruto said, uneasy about meeting new people. Welcome to our school, Sunset greeted him. We're showing him around the school, Applebloom said. Yup, Big Mac said. Well, I hope you have a great first day at school, Sunset said, remembering what it was like on her first day. Then she remembers the other reason why Naruto is how he is. And don't worry, you'll make some friends around here in no time. Thanks, Naruto said. You're welcome, Sunset said, hoping he will do better than she did. In the lunchroom. At one of the tables the 3 interns who work at Chaos Incorporated, they set up a booth for new ideas for the new expansion on World of Chaos. And students have lined up to give them their ideas. Some good while others aren't possible to do without causing the game to crash. Right now they're talking with Canary Yellow. The list of vampires are good and not like the ones found everywhere else. The Penangolin is a vampire that detaches its head from the rest of its body at night with all of its internal organs dangling from its neck. The Assassinbonsum with curved iron hooks instead of feet that live in forests. It hunts by dangling from the branches of trees and thrusting said hooks into their prey when they pass underneath. The split in half with its upper torso growing huge bat wings to fly at night, Adagio said. Not like all the god vampires you see nowadays, Arya said. We could do an expansion on more monsters to fight, Sonata adds. Yeah, you guys can use the different types of monsters instead of using the common types everyone else uses, Canary Yellow said. We'll give your idea to the boss, Sonata said. He's always looking for new ideas, Arya said. Next, Adagio said. Hey gals, AJ said as she and her siblings came into the lunchroom showing Naruto where Granny sometimes could be found working. Who's the kid? Sonata asks. This is Naruto, Applebloom said. The kid you guys found on your farm? Arya asks. Yup, Big Mac answers. Hey AJ, can you tell your mom that the boss is interested in talking to her about another thing she could help in the game, Adagio asks. Really, what is it this time? AJ asks. You know how he is not spoiling the game, Adagio said. Is that the game they were playing? Naruto asks, remembering the game they showed him. He declined in playing as he just wanted to watch. All three of the Apple kids have game models that look just like them and thanks to their parents giving them power-ups are very well armed. Yup, Big Mac said. Wait, aren't you the one who was dressed as a ninja? Sonata asks. Ninja? Naruto said as he suddenly froze as something sparkled, but something else stopped it dead in its tracks. Naruto, what's the matter? AJ asks, worried seeing him frozen like that. I don't know. Something about ninjas and then nothing, Naruto said. Come on, we still need to show him around before the first bell, Applebloom said. Right, AJ said as they led Naruto out of the lunchroom. What's with him? Sonata asks. I guess you trigger a flashback or something when you say ninja, Arya said. Whatever happened to him must have been big, Adagio said. Yeah, it is. They won't let me throw him a party, Pinkie Pie spoke up. Pinkie, he's in no shape to have a party, Red Butler said. Oh right, Pinkie said. And we all shouldn't do anything that might trigger a harmful flashback with him, Rainbow Dash said. Earning her looks from Rainbow Bright and Strawberry Shortcake. You're the one who jumps into things and tells everyone, Rainbow Bright said. You just can't keep things to yourself, Strawberry Shortcake adds. Come on, you two can't still be mad at me, Rainbow Dash said. Telling the whole school we like girls without letting us explain ourselves first is a great way to show how good you are in keeping your mouth shut, Twilight said, glaring at her. Yeah, too bad, Lyra said. Lyra Bone snaps at her. It would be nice to have some more girls around who like other girls and are open about it, Lyra said. Oh, Bone said, thinking that she wanted to try some stuff. Don't worry, I'm not going to be doing that anymore, Rainbow Dash said, having learned from her past mistakes. And having to win over her friends after that had something to do with it. The bell rang and the students ran out of the lunchroom to begin their classes. Starting the first day of school for Naruto in a brand new world he found himself in. And the friends that he'll make in the school year. Hey girls, Indigo said as she walked up to them. What's up, Indigo? Twilight asks. I need some books. I'm helping Naruto learn to read better and I thought some books will help, Indigo said. She helps with students at school who have a hard time learning and Naruto reading level is much lower than it should be for his age. So she was assigned to help him learn to read at the level of his age group. I have what you need, Mint Tulip said as she shoved a book into Indigo's hands. Mint, this is a love book, Indigo said. So? It's a great book, Mint Tulip said with hearts in her eyes. She's right, Mint. That is much too advanced for Naruto to read, Twilight said as she gives Indigo a daring do book. This should do it. No, not that, Canary Yellow said, bursting out from the horror section holding a book in her hands. He should read this. Canary Yellow, that's a really scary book with scary pictures, Indigo said, seeing its scary tales to tell in the dark. What? I read it and others all the time. I just love how in some books they have the guy hang with his own entails, Canary Yellow said, smiling while the other three gave her strange looks. How is it that you're so cheerful and optimistic all the time while being in hardcore horror, Mint Tulip asks. It's very creepy with her being into horror while being like Pinkie but tamer. I'm just like my cousin Ruby Gloom, Canary Yellow smiles. 2. Oh yeah, your cousin Ruby Gloom, Indigo said, remembering how her cousin was like when she visited to get the game console straight from the factory that makes it. He's living with the apples. So why not just give him this, Lyra said, appearing next to the group holding the first book of the My Little Pony books. He's so lucky being able to live with Megan who wrote the books. He can help proofread the new books before they're even printed. Lyra stopped being the crazy fan, Bone said, appearing next to her. Remember the time she went and dyed Butterscotch like the ponies in the books, Mint Tulip said. She didn't mind, Lyra said, as Butterscotch is her uncle's horse. And that with Butterscotch being dyed green with a red mane made her uncle's horse-drawn cart very popular during the holiday season. Lyra, AJ's mom already has to deal with crazy fans. She doesn't need to deal with you, Twilight said. I'm not that bad, Lyra said. Your room is wall-to-wall ponies, Bone Bone stated. I have an idea, Canary Yellow said. Let him read some of the Garfield comic collection books. That's a great way to get him to start reading. 3. Yeah, that's a good idea, Indigo said. Then you can have him read the horror comics, Canary Yellow adds. No, the girl said. We don't want to stir up bad memories or scare him, Indigo said. Does he need help with anything else? Twilight asks. I'm just helping him learn to read. You have to ask AJ if there's anything else, Indigo said, walking to where the Garfield books are kept. Where is she anyways? Twilight asks. She's with Naruto, Lyra said. We saw them heading to the west wing of the school, Bone Bone adds. Where are they heading? Mintulip asks. Don't ask me, Bone Bone said. I just hope that AJ doesn't overdo things, Twilight said. It is Naruto's first day. Thanks for watching this video. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe and comment down below and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support and follow the MADHAT886 for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story link in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.